What's up, Fit Fam? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now today we're going to be talking about something that gets brought up with me quite a lot. I get it when I do my lives and I get asked this question quite a bit with my own clients, and that is intermittent fasting and does it help me lose weight? Now before I jump into the details of this video, I want to caveat by saying I am a personal trainer with 10 years experience in the industry as well, and I'm not a nutritionist. The purpose of developing this piece of content, and in fact everything else I do, is to help people out, to educate people and to allow them to make better decisions based on my experience and also my expertise within the field as well. I've done a lot of research on nutrition as well by helping a lot of clients out. My partner is a nutritionist and I deal with this day in, day out, and I think that there's a lot of great information that can help you guys out with getting the best results, and that's what it's all about, getting you guys the best results when it comes to your training and also with regards to your nutrition. Now firstly, I'm going to explain what intermittent fasting is and how it works and why it does get people results. Then I'm going to talk a little bit more around different ways you could do it, the pros, the cons. I won't go into a heck of a lot of detail in that regard, but I do want you to be aware of how it works and how you can potentially use something a little bit different to get you better results or the same results as well. So what is intermittent fasting? In short, this is basically where you have periods of the day where you do not eat any food and then periods of the day where you do eat food as well. So what's basically trying to do is trying to reduce your eating window to shorter periods of the day, in essence to make sure you eat less calories in the day to help you lose weight. Now, the most common of this is 16 and 8. This means that 16 hours of the day you do not eat any food. So you might wake up in the morning, not have breakfast and not eat till say 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Then from 2 p.m. till 8 hours later, so 10 p.m., this is your eating window. So this is where you are going to be consuming food. You are going to be consuming your meals throughout the day as well. So why do people do this one? First one, it is a strategy to basically lose weight. Now, any single diet, and I mean any diet, whether you're doing this one, keto, whatever it might be, if your aim is to lose weight, your only goal is to put yourself in a calorie deficit. So the main question I get asked is, does this work for me to lose weight? The short answer to that question is yes, it absolutely can. There are a whole range of different ways it can work. Intermittent fasting is just one of them. Now, one of the reasons why I like this to a degree, and I'm not necessarily for and against it, I'm kind of on the fence whether as I like it or not, because I do prefer people eat in regular intervals throughout the day. But one of the reasons why I do like it is it's really simple for people to follow. There's a bit of a premise, I believe, when it comes to nutrition, that if it's nice and simple for you to follow, there's less energy you need to use, particularly mental energy, for you to be able to apply that one as well. This is why keto, paleo, those diets are a little bit more tricky, because you need to understand the food groups, where it fits into it, what I can eat, what I can't eat. Intermittent fasting simply says don't eat before 2 p.m. Now, to be clear, you can change the timings on it. You can do 20 and 4, you can do 12 and 12. They all can work, but the most common is 16 and 8. So for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna be sticking to those time frames. But it's nice and simple for you guys. It just says don't eat till 2 p.m. and then you'll eat after that as well. Now, one of the reasons why during that time you can actually probably not track your calories as well, if you're eating over an 8-hour period, you will probably eat the same size meals, but you've probably taken out 1 or 2 meals throughout the morning in that 16 and 8 example. So there's been a fair bit of research at the moment with intermittent fasting as well. If you don't track your calories per se, but you're eating in a shorter window of time, people naturally just eat less food in the 24-hour window. It makes total sense. So when you are eating those meals as well, most people, they proportionally will eat the same size meal, whether they're really hungry or whether they're eating their normal meal of the day as well. It might be slightly larger. There is research to show that when people are intermittent fasting, their meals are slightly larger than it would be if they're eating throughout the day, but it doesn't take away from the fact that they've had 16 hours of no calories as well. So it doesn't quite balance itself out as much as a lot of people like to make that argument. So when it comes to your nutrition, it's actually quite a mental game as well. You need to force yourself to think about what you're eating each meal, each time you do it as well. So when you are doing intermittent fasting, you can though, but you don't necessarily need to track your calories, because in essence you're creating that deficit by having a sustained period or window where you're not eating as well. So you can kind of go about your day by eating meals after 2 p.m. in this example till 10 p.m. and they're going to be maybe slightly larger than what you are normally eating, but it should keep you in a calorie deficit. Nice and simple. Now, one of the reasons why I do like it is because it's simple to understand. The concept is nice and easy, and you don't generally need to change too much with your behavior. Now, I hear a lot of arguments about what it does to your gut, what it does to your metabolic rate, does it kickstart your metabolism, all those kind of things as well. I've done a lot of research on it, and it doesn't really make too much of a difference when it comes to this as well, as much as some people like to say that it is better for you, but all those kind of things. The main thing we're talking about here is weight loss, and when it comes to that one, a calorie deficit or a calorie calorie surplus are basically the two areas you want to play in when it comes to gaining weight or losing weight as well. By creating that calorie deficit throughout the day, this is going to work if your goal is to losing weight, but there are a range of other ways to do this within your diet where you can eat sustained periods throughout the day. Now, the thing I want to make clear in this video is that while it is one method to lose weight in this example, there are a range of different ways you can do this one, and it is not the be all and end all, and nor do I think it should be the preferred method. Having said that, it is a way to do it. So a lot of people say they have great success with it. That's brilliant. There are other ways to do it as well. So I would, if I were you, look at what works for you, what could be applicable, and how it could work. One of the things why I don't like this as a method in terms of your nutrition is that eating regularly throughout the day gives you those insulin spikes, gives you those energy spikes as well, which when it comes to a performance side of things, which I've got an athlete background, I think you need to be eating regularly, particularly if you're going to be training in the morning as well, particularly if you want to get the most out of your sessions. So depending on when you train and depending on when you need your insulin spikes and your energy spikes, this may not actually play into your hands. But a lot of the times you should be looking at what your macronutrients are, what you're eating, and how you are eating them as best as you can. So making sure you get the right amount of proteins in, the right amount of carbs, the right amount of fats. When a lot of people apply this nutritional method for their own benefits, they basically would just apply the 16 and 8, and they won't go into too much detail about what you're actually eating, because that plays a big role. Creating that energy balance and that energy deficit is of course the best way to start losing weight and start losing fat, but it's really important to also understand what you're eating in there as well, and I don't think it is the best way to do it just by cutting out a period of time where you don't eat. So for me personally, I wouldn't recommend trying the intermittent fasting as your first choice, but it is a way to improve your diet to what it is today. Just understand that if you are going to be using this as your way of trying to lose body fat percentage or trying to lose some weight, the way it's doing this is by creating an energy deficit. You can do this in a range of different ways we can be eating throughout the day as well. Volume dense foods, high proteins, those kind of things, or looking at a macronutrient diet, which is what we do with Lift by Day. We look at your total macronutrients and we give you regular meals, intervals throughout the day as well to keep your energy levels up, which actually helps you move a little bit more as well. Means you get the most out of your sessions, plus you can be eating regularly throughout the day, and also big foods which are volume dense as well to keep you fuller for longer, which I think should be the first port of call when it comes to losing weight and keeping a healthy, nutritious diet. But like any nutrition strategy as well, I have seen this one work, and that's why I do like it in the sense that it's nice and simple, easy to follow, you can apply it today and you can dial it up, dial it down, and also once you have that in place as well, you can actually start to choose your foods in between as well, so it can work, and I've seen it work for helping people lose weight as well. If you are doing an intermittent fasting as well, one thing to be conscious of is when you come out of it. Now, your body can react in different ways as well, and you don't want to be starting to overeat when you come out of it. Your weight is quite elastic, and when I say that, when you do lose weight, it does have a natural tendency to bounce back as well. So maintaining your calories at that low state to really try to almost equalize and keep your weight nice and low is important as well. So one of the things I want you to be really conscious of if you are using this one, if you start to flip back into eating regularly throughout the day, just be conscious of how much you're eating as well. And that's why I think having something like a macronutrient meal plan where you know what you're eating throughout the day and you're eating regularly throughout the day actually is a bit of a longer term play. But again, it depends on the individual. Not saying it does or doesn't work. All I'm saying is be really conscious of it if you are going to apply it, because as you know, you can lose weight, but you really don't want to be bouncing back. You want to be sustaining it and getting progressional results over time. And that's it for me today, guys. I just wanted to explain what it is, the pros and cons of it, how it can work, and just in general how nutritional plans work in order to help you guys lose weight, and that is through a calorie deficit. Doesn't matter what the strategy is, it's all based around that calorie deficit for you guys to lose weight. So long as you're aware of how that works, making sure you are applying whichever one you're doing the best as you can to getting the results that you want longer term as well. If you like my content, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. We'll see you guys next time. Keep training hard.